my name is Chad King, and I acquire multifamily apartments. And then my active income is sales, negotiations, coaching, and training. So 2 full-time gigs, but I really focus on acquiring apartments.
My name is Jen King, and I am a business development manager for an IT staffing company. That is my W-2 job to keep us somewhat stable and give us some health coverage for the time being.
When you start to understand how money works, and like while I was at Xerox, I was simultaneously studying money and studying successful people, and you start to see how it all works. You start to look at the path that you're on, and you start to look at the path that these entrepreneurs took that have created these successful empires, and you're like, when you start to compare the two, it's almost becomes a no-brainer that even if you're in a W-2, you should also be building a business for yourself. I noticed that this common theme that all these successful people, they had real estate. It just seemed like that sort of that common theme, like everybody's involved in it. I was ready to go. I really liked the sort of commit first and then figure it out mentality. It's something I've always done. A lot of people are looking for a sign. They're looking for someone to come up and tell them, this is the path, like now's the time, come do it. And they're waiting for it to feel like the right time. And it's never gonna feel like the right time. You just have to do it and then make it the right time. And in fact, after I quit my W-2 job, I so much so had that commit mentality. Like I was so happy I committed to this, and it was so freeing that 2 weeks after that, I proposed to my wife, because I was like, I really like this commitment thing. Like let's go all in, right? And it was the best decision I ever made.
I knew kind of that urge for him was there. So when he kind of said I was gonna quit, I was almost waiting for it. And I was like, let's do it. Like, buy the apartments already.
She says that to me every day. So every day when we wake up, she's like, buy the apartments. I'm like, I'm trying, babe, I'm trying. You know, she's saying yes to this kid who just quit his job and he really doesn't have any sort of security. And I was kind of like, at the time, like a bit of a risk to take, you know, to roll your dice. So I'm very happy she said yes and was willing to take the chance on me.
Easy. When he started this journey, I was, I think, overwhelmed for him, because when he first got into the space, he didn't know exactly where to start.
When you're getting into coaching, because coaching's not cheap, right? It's an investment, not an expense, but it's certainly not a cheap investment, right? You want to make sure that the coaches align with you and your core values. And as I studied Wheelbarrow Profits more and more, and I looked at many other coaching companies, the way that Jake and Gino and even Josh Rusin and some of the other members in the community, I felt a connection to their core values. And as I got to know the community a little bit better, their core values certainly resonated with mine, and I saw a lot of parallels. Ultimately, the information was great. Jake and Gino really vibed with them. The core values were there. And I needed a little bit of that sort of final push and that final vote of confidence, because after 24 months of education, like I really wanted to make sure that I had no excuses. And when you invest in a coaching company and you surround yourself with the people that are in a Wheelbarrow Profits, and you see all the other people doing it that are just like you have no excuses. There's no hiding now. And when you put yourself out there and commit to doing something and spend the money, it's most certainly like the best accountability that you can have for yourself, getting involved in a community like this, because it's you have almost no choice but to succeed unless you just aren't doing the work. That's the only way you don't succeed, is if you don't put in the work. I think the coaching companies, some people think that they're gonna just like do it for them, and that's really not what it is. It's giving you the information to go do it, and all the information that you need. And for me, helping avoid the potholes that a newbie multifamily investor would step in and lose money, and you know, because it's better to buy no deal than a bad deal. I really saw a lot of stewardship in the community. Like they really seek to serve. Like they weren't just looking to collect a check. Like they give off so much free content. It's apparent even for someone who's not in the community that they're looking to give. But even, you know, the coaching calls that you get, the boot camps that they do, they're very much seeking to constantly serve the members. So that stewardship mentality is something that I live by, because I think that you get paid in proportion to the difficulty of the problems that you solve and the people that you help. So they were looking to help a lot of people, which that resonated with me, because that's what I like about the wholesaling business, is we help a lot of people. To now, it's not just this business group, but like we're ultimately creating friendships within the group, and I'm creating friendships with the other members and their wives that are gonna last outside of just multifamily apartments. So it's not, when you get involved in this group, because of the way that they're structured and that they do like love when you bring the spouses around, it's just that, it's that like extra point of like, this is awesome, because now it's more than just us talking about apartments. Like we're bringing our families and our lives into this group, and we're sharing those with other people too. We chose Nashville for many reasons. One, we were looking for a city that was growing, demographic-wise. It had population growth. It had some stability in the market, because we had some success in South Florida in the wholesale and fix and flip space. So I knew that I needed a market that was decent enough to sustain that business and continue that business. It was more centrally located in the United States, so we were able to get places faster. Now, when you live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, like it takes 8 hours just to get out of the state if you're driving. So being uncomfortable moving to somewhere where we didn't know anybody was a perk number one. Number two, it makes us a little more nimble in where we can go, how quickly we can get there. So now we invest in markets like Louisville, Chattanooga, Huntsville, all within 2.5 hours, basically. Like if I did a circle of a 2.5 hour radius, I could get to Louisville, Chattanooga, Huntsville, right? And I like that I can get to those markets. Sometimes that you get a lot of resistance from people that are close to you. Like your friends, they don't understand what you're doing. You're on a different path. Like, hey, I don't have time to be going to happy hours or going out on the weekends. Like, I'm on a different journey now. Naturally, your friends and family, they do it out of love, but they want to inherently protect you from risk, and they see that as risky. Listen, everything you want is on the other side of risk. Everything you want in life is right on the other side of uncertainty, doubt, risk, fear, rejection. It's all right on the other side.